was a very windy day today, but winds will subside tonight, bringing the threat for frost. I'll have more details about that and maybe some precipitation by late in the week coming up.
Also ahead, thousands of runners from all around the globe battled it out today at the Fargo Marathon.
Guard soldiers have a whole new battle to fight when they get home. Luckily, plenty of help is available.
And a North Dakota vet who sacrificed his life is being honored for one last time.
You're watching the Night Report at 10 on NBC North Dakota News, your news leader.
Good evening, I'm Amanda Tetlak.
And I'm Kevin Gribble. Thanks for joining us. It was an unexpected win at the Fargo Marathon today, with a Grand Forks native taking home the title. A group of Kenyan runners was heavily favored among the more than 9,000 runners from all over the world and all 50 states. Charlene Richards takes us from the start line to the sidelines.
Within seconds, they're off. Thousands of athletes are putting their minds, bodies, and spirits to the test. No doubt they want to finish this 26.2-mile journey, but they also want to enjoy it along the way. That's why these guys are on the sidelines cheering them on.
Our favorite thing to do is to take somebody that's walking by and make them a runner, you know, to make them like start running again and finish strong.
They're telling runners, don't worry, be happy.
You can really make the difference between a good marathon and a bad marathon.
Norwegian runner Roy Fugelslad knows all about support. A friend he just met came out to cheer him on.
He's here running, doesn't have any family, so I said I will go and get you a Norway flag. It's 17. Mai today, Norwegian Independence Day, so we're out here supporting him. And he goes once a year, picks a marathon. This is his 21st.
If I can keep it up halfway without walking, I'm satisfied.
Further up the route, this animated group is also celebrating this holiday.
Can I get an oofta? Oofta!
A lot of people don't know what it is, but then when you tell them they want to try it, they must not be from around here.
After making it through the cheers, entertainment, and authentic food, runners finish up their journey right where they started.
Congratulations, great job.
It was great with people all the way along the side, giving us like a lot of praise all the way through the race, which makes it very motivational to keep running.
It was amazing to hear the crowd yelling, tears streaming down my face. It was amazing.
Through it all, runners say it was worth it.
The average time for the full marathon is 4 hours and 22 minutes. The winner of the full marathon, Eric Sondag of Grand Forks, came in with a time of 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Soldiers and their families anticipate their homecoming days, weeks, or even months before they arrive. But what happens once they actually come home? The initial excitement eventually wears off, and it's time to readjust to living as a family again. The North Dakota National Guard is hosting a weekend of events meant to make the reintegration process as painless as possible. The soldiers of the 34th Engineer Brigade returned to North Dakota in March after spending a year in Iraq. Now that they've been home for 2 months, the honeymoon stage is over, and reintegration challenges are rising to the surface.
You see so many soldiers that they just don't know where to turn with, PTSD and just depression or compulsive behaviors, and they don't want to tell anybody because they're afraid that their careers are going to be over. And the Army is just more sensitive to those issues, and they're actually taking care of them.
Today, the soldiers and their families sat in on different workshops, such as making relationships work and single soldier challenges, to help understand and cope with some of the problems they're dealing with since they've been home.
And they're just providing you a list of resources and benefits that are available to you upon your return. If you have any issues or problems, here's where you need to go see this person or this person or this person. They can really help you out with that. And it's really it's just been kind of fun, relaxing, easy, slow start to get back into training as a soldier again.
The Guard says having family members participate with the soldiers helps identify and solve more issues.
It's not just for the soldiers, it's for the families, because our soldiers will come in and say, yeah, I have this problem. But in actuality, when their spouse comes in, it's like, really, no, you have all of these problems or issues that you need to deal with, because spouses and parents and children see things that a lot of times soldiers are not aware of.
So the homecoming can continue to be a happy one until the next deployment.
Tomorrow we'll hear from a couple going through the reintegration process and the personal struggles they face since returning.
Meanwhile, a North Dakota hero of the Korean War finally has a headstone that suits him. Today, 25 bikes with the Patriot Guard riders escorted family and military comrades to the unveiling in Sisseton, South Dakota, where the Sisseton-Wahpeton tribe unveiled the headstone for Woodrow Wilson Keeble. It features the Medal of Honor, which Keeble was posthumously awarded with earlier this month. He also received more than 30 citations, including 4 Purple Hearts.
You have to understand what he went through, and you have to have been there sometime or other in your life to understand the comradeship that GIs have about each other. And that's why we're out here. It's just to honor him.
Keeble is the first full-blooded Sioux Indian to receive the Medal of Honor.
76-year-old Senator Edward Kennedy has been taken to a hospital in Boston after having a seizure at his home in Hyannisport this morning. The senator's office says Kennedy is now undergoing tests at Massachusetts General Hospital to determine the cause of the seizure. They say he's resting comfortably, and it's unlikely they'll know anything more for the next 48 hours.
This brings back some bad memories of Minot from years ago. A train derailment this morning forced the evacuation of thousands of people in southern Louisiana. 6 cars derailed and 1 began leaking hydrochloric acid. A chemical cloud formed over the area, and officials began a mandatory evacuation within a 1-mile radius of the accident. At least 5 people were taken to the hospital complaining of eye and skin irritations.
A woman was killed and 21 other people were injured when a charter bus crashed in California today. It tipped over on Interstate 40 in the Mojave Desert, about 2 hours west of Las Vegas. No other vehicles were involved in the crash. A woman was thrown from the bus and died. 8 others have severe injuries, and many more have cuts and bruises.
And the Black-Eyed Susans go to Big Brown. The Kentucky Derby winner is now the winner of the 133rd Preakness Stakes, winning the 2nd jewel in the thoroughbred horse racing's Triple Crown by a wide margin. If the thoroughbred wins the Belmont on June 7th, he'll become the first Triple Crown winner since affirmed in 1978. And Williston is the latest North Dakota city to reduce its traffic fines. The changes come in the wake of a state Supreme Court ruling that cities may not charge traffic fines higher than the penalties allowed by state law. The city commission voted to align Williston's fines with those of the state, which are substantially lower. The court's opinion this past March came in a case in which a woman sued Fargo over its fines. A former Burleigh County Sheriff's deputy has been ordered to pay the cost of a jury trial that he didn't show up to. Ron Dietz, who's now a police officer in Minnesota, was convicted last month of failure to appear at a trial in which he was the only witness. A judge ordered Dietz to repay Burleigh County more than $500 for the minor in possession of alcohol trial that he missed. Because of his absence, the case was dismissed.
All right, and it's time for Powerball numbers. Tonight's jackpot is worth $35 million. All right, good luck everyone. Here are your numbers: 12, 21, 14, 15, and 43. The Powerball number is 30. And the Power Play number is 3. And of course, I didn't get a ticket.
I never get a ticket. I always say I'm going to. Now, you know, the $35 million, that's a lot of money, but we've seen some other high numbers lately. Our temperatures are finally getting up there, 80s almost, huh?
Temperatures and the winds. It was very windy for anybody who was outside today, and finally those winds are starting to die down, but temperatures still very warm, and it's hard to believe that with the warm temperatures today, we're actually going to have a chance of frost tonight. Frost advisory in effect for eastern and northeastern North Dakota through tomorrow morning, and that's because high pressure will be building in from the north, and the winds, with winds dying down, temperatures will be able to hover around that freezing mark, so we could have some patchy frost around the area. As I mentioned, winds have been dying down, which is good news. Generally out of the north to northwest still, but down to about 9 miles an hour out of the north, which is much better than the 25 miles per hour we saw earlier today. Out of the north at 6 in Garrison as well as in Williston. Now, as I mentioned earlier as well, temperatures very warm today. Average high this time of year 70 degrees. Reached a high of 77 in Bismarck, 75 in Minot, but check out Sidney, high of 81, 79 today in Glendive. And if you've been outside recently, it's still very nice even at this hour, 63 in Bismarck. A little cooler in Minot, 54, as well as in Garrison, but still very warm out to the west, 66 in Glendive and 61 in Williston. Our Sky Spies reporting generally the same. Temperatures 56 in Willow City, 63 in Raleigh and Elgin, 64 in Cartwright, and a little cooler to the east, 57 in Gackle and 60 degrees in Lincoln. So thank you very much for calling in, Sky Spies. We really do appreciate it. Now, skies were generally clear to partly cloudy today. That will be the trend throughout the evening as our northwesterly flow brings in high pressure from the north. Skies will remain, for the most part, clear to mostly clear. There are a few light showers dying off with the heat of the day to our east, but as we look to our northwest, we do see the indication of our next system coming in from the northwest. That will be the case as we go throughout the day tomorrow, not giving us any precipitation tomorrow, but possibly tomorrow night. A slight chance of a thunderstorm is not out of the question, but the big story will be the temperatures, warm temperatures, and a very pleasant day. So if you're heading outside, make sure you pack your sunscreen. 40 degrees tonight in Minot, 36 in Bismarck. Mostly clear. We could have some patchy frost with winds dying out. 45 in Williston, 43 in Dickinson. Winds dying down to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 50 in Sidney tonight, 43 in Bowman. Very comfy conditions, 37 in Hazleton, and 34 for our low temperature in Jamestown with some patchy frost possible. Another nice day tomorrow, 73 in Minot, 75 in Bismarck. Partly cloudy skies, winds shifting to the south-southeast at about 5 to 15, and very warm in Williston and Dickinson. 80 degrees or a little bit warmer. Wind again out of the south to southeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour, keeping it quite warm. 77 in Sidney tomorrow, warm conditions, 87 in Miles City, 70 in Jamestown, and 76 in Mobridge. That nice weather continues through Tuesday, but by the time midweek and the end of the week roll around, better chances of some much needed moisture with cooler temperatures. So back to cooler temperatures by the end of the week, but very, very much needed moisture.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to do the trade-off there. We need the rain.
Well, moisture is a good thing, and cool temperatures when cool is 65 is pretty good.
I'll take it. That sounds like it's pretty good to me.
All right, thanks a lot for the good news. And more good news coming up. A common North Dakota crop could be the key to preventing colon cancer.
And 8 seconds seems like a whole lot longer when you're on the back of an angry bull.
Winner of the Emmy Award for Best Local Newscast. You're watching The Night Report at 10 with anchors Amanda Tetlak and Kevin Gribble. First, warm weather with meteorologist Charles Coe. And sports with Bill Halter. This is KFYR-TV, your news leader.
This KFYR-TV weather.
North Dakota was the nation's flax production leader last year, and the crop could take on an added importance if new research is successful. A South Dakota State University research study is examining the use of flax as a tool against colon cancer. One researcher discovered that cooking with mustard oil decreased cardiovascular disease and cancer. It's all because mustard contains omega-3 fatty acid. Flax contains even more omega-3. Initial research has shown that both flaxseed oil and flax meal help prevent colon cancer development. The research is partially funded by the North Dakota Oilseed Council.
8 seconds might not seem like much time, but on the back of a bucking bull, 8 seconds can feel like an eternity. Scott Westerberg has more on a group of first-timers who decided to give the sport of bull riding a shot.
The Chance Sowers Memorial Bull Riding event started 3 years ago after the tragic death of a young bull rider. Chance's family wanted his love of bull riding to continue for other young riders.
And so we wanted to carry on that passion, and this is his legacy. And what we do is throughout the year we teach kids the sport of bull riding, what all goes into it. You know, it's just not buying gear and hopping on a bull.
In addition to trained bull riders of all ages, today's event also featured a small group of first-timers. 5 brave people were found to tackle the sport of bull riding for the very first time.
One of the guys that's in it I work with, and he asked me if I wanted to be in a fantasy bull ride, and here we are.
The fantasy riders got a couple weeks to train for their 8 seconds of glory, but they say it's nothing like hopping on the real thing.
Heart's going about 50 miles an hour, and you know, you're starting to sweat, and you sit down on it and you feel this bull, and you know, it's he could probably just throw you off by twitching his muscles. And
riding a bull like this might seem pretty intimidating, but if you ask the riders, their strategy is pretty simple.
Hold on, don't fall off, squeeze with your legs.
Stay on, hang on, you know, give it your best shot and see what happens.
And after a rough ride for the 5 rookies, one go-round on a bull might be plenty.
I think I'm going to retire after today.
But as this group of first-timers proved, you don't have to be an expert to give bull riding a chance. For NBC North Dakota News, I'm Scott Westerberg.
Money raised from today's bull riding goes toward a youth bull riding program for local kids interested in the sports. And still to come, the Community Bowl hosted the Class B Region 5 track and field meet today.
The West Region meet was also held there. Bill will have the highlights next in sports.
Welcome back, everyone. The state track and field meet is next weekend at the Community Bowl. Today was a practice run as the Bowl hosted 2 region meets. In the West Region, Bismarck entered as a heavy favorites for both the boys and the girls. For the guys, in the 100-meter dash, Jason Dukeshire just holds off his Demon teammate Corey Plouffe to win with a time of 10.78. 300 hurdles, Dickinson's Taylor Brushwine pulls away in the last 50 meters to break the tape first. For the girls in the 300 hurdles, Twyla Mosier in control the whole race, and she wins, crossing with a time of 47.72. Mosier, a good day, scoring very well for Bismarck. In the high jump, Shannon Schmidt of Bismarck up and over. Schmidt clears 5 feet 3, which was good enough for third because her teammate Mosier jumped 5.4. Let's take a look at the team results. Bismarck did win both boys and girls. Minot second for the boys. Pretty close, actually, to the Demons. Dickinson 3 and the Patriots 4 on the guys' side. For the girls, Century 2, Dickinson 3, and Minot 4. Well, this morning, the Class B Region 5 track meets were decided in the 100-meter dash. Hazen's Brian Sorensen was the man to beat, but on this day, nobody beat him. Sorensen wins with a time of 11.09. The Hazen boys team won the team competition as well. The Bison girls also won the team event, and Allison Opp was a big reason. Here, Opp wins the 100 hurdles. She also won the long jump, triple jump, and finished second in the 300 hurdles. The rest of the standings look like this. For the boys, it was Linton coming in second, Central McLean, which is Turtle Lake Mercer and Underwood third, Washburn Wilton fourth. For the girls, Hazen big, and it's Washburn Wilton, Linton, and New Salem. Region 6 track and field meet. Rugby wins both boys and girls side. Delax Burlington finishes second for the boys, Velvet Drake second for the girls. WDA tennis today. Yesterday it was the Century girls team winning the team tournament, but today it was singles and doubles. Hallie Welk of Century is the singles champion. The doubles champions are Rachel Hennessy and Terrence Junt of Williston. Baseball, Region 8. In the loser-out game this afternoon, it was Shiloh Christian staying alive, eliminating Central Prairie. Steele Dawson doubles up on Washburn Wilton Center Stanton, so Steele Dawson will wait in the championship game for the winner of Washburn Wilton Center Stanton and Shiloh Christian. Play-in game for the WDA tournament, it was St. Mary's Big over Belcourt. Well, the Dickinson State softball team is at the national tournament in Decatur, Alabama. Yesterday, the team opened pool play by splitting 2 games. Today, the Blue Hawks won their first game as Sarah Jane Webster pitched a complete game shutout. DSU beat Shorter College of Georgia 1-0. And in the final pool game of the Hawks blanked Indiana University Southeast. Megan Shaw matched Webster with 8 strikeouts and a complete game shutout. So Dickinson State advances to the 8-team tournament, which starts on Monday. After going 3-1 in pool play, Guy Fridley says his team is feeling good.
I think this is the most confident we've been since day one, and I think not only did that first game against Cal Baptist give us confidence. We certainly had opportunities. In some sense, we left 13 runners on base. So our confidence is very high, and we're riding high right now, and hopefully we can just carry our momentum going into Monday.
Well, in the majors, Cleveland lost this afternoon, so the Twins entered play against Colorado in a 3-way tie for the Central Division lead with the Indians and the White Sox. Twins trying to make it 2-4-2 against the Rockies. Levon Hernandez pitched into the 8th inning, but in the 8th, tied at 2. It's Ryan Spilborg's a base hit, pass is drawn in infield. That'll make it 3-2 Rockies, and they hold on to win by that score. So the Twins are now 1-1 in that series. They'll play the rubber match tomorrow. I mentioned Cleveland lost. They actually gave up 3 runs in the 9th inning. Travis Hafner did not play in that game. Elsewhere, Texas triples up on Houston. Erstad a 1-for-4. Costin 0-for-4. His team lost. NHL Western Finals, Dallas. He stays alive against Detroit. And PWT Championship stays 2 of 3 here. Mark Court still in first. A couple local guys there, Meidinger, Kel, and our guy Johnny in the top 40. Another fishing tournament in Lake Audubon. Minot, Jeff Ziegler and Robert Hagelin are the winners. They caught 17.46 pounds of fish. Guys.
Yum. It's a lot of fish.
Yeah, yum is right.
We'll see you again in a minute.
There are big things in life to celebrate.
Okay.
Should be pretty cool tonight. We have some scattered frost to the east. Frost advisory in effect through tomorrow morning for areas east of Bismarck and Minot. But tomorrow should be a nice day with temperatures in the upper 70s and a UV index of 6. That means moderate, so pack your sunscreen if you're heading out tomorrow.
Okay.
Will do. Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Can't do much about the high cost of fuel, fertilizer,